I apologize. I've stolen your fun music. I'm so sorry. Hello, YouTube live stream. Oh wait, no, I'd already failed. I've done a little bit wrong. Hang on a minute. YouTube live stream. One moment. There we go. Hello, YouTube. Glad to have you guys here with us. All right, so we're just going to go over a couple questions. Hopefully Blue will be able to hop in here shortly. And once we got that going, we will be set. All right, so we're going to go through the first set of questions. So we're going to do a couple of things that we talked about first beforehand. Right now, Hex doesn't have any future, like, we don't have a specific date for any upcoming updates. We are working on some future dates, but we are currently just doing a lot of back-end developmental as well as working on a couple things for Alpha 2 before Alpha 2 does come out. So that does include things like App Lab. We don't have a date for App Lab yet, so I know a lot of you are going to ask that. That does not have a specific date yet, so I do apologize. That being said, what do you guys have? What do you guys have for us? All right. Just going to go into the YouTube chat real quick, check it out. First question, why is Euphoria so short? Euphoria, why are you so short? Good answer, Euphoria. And will there always be consistent updates? No. So the big thing with Hex right now is that as just a small scale development like group of people, just a couple of indie developers, we are obviously working full-time jobs and we are just working in general on regular life things as well as doing this on the side. So whenever there is an update, it's more or less when we can get it out and when we think it is in a position where we can get it out. Are there plans to improve throwing for CV1? Yes, 100%. Right now the game is running on Right now the game is running on a specific system that wasn't built for many things outside of Quest. We are going to be switching out of that system. And I know Blue would have a lot more insight on this, but the idea is that the current throwing system isn't really optimized for anything but Quest, and that's something we want to fix. So that will be an eventual update, probably closer to beta, which is when our bigger like overhaul of a lot of things will be. And will there be EU servers? Yes, there will be. All right, so we're going to look over in the Discord chat for a minute here. Why do you hear left banks too? I don't know what that means. I apologize. Oh, I was looking in the wrong chat entirely. That is my bad. Haha. All right, so yeah, a couple questions from Discord. You're gonna miss having to listen to squeakers every 20 matches. That's for Echo. There was a lot more than every 20 in my opinion. All right. What will be the modes you can play? So right now we are working entirely on 2 modes. The first mode is the arena style mode. We do call that Hex Stadium. So Stadium is the more standardized disc mode where it's just a 4v4. And with the disc on one or the other. The other mode that we are working on is Underground, which is a more hero style shooter akin to ideas of Overwatch. Is a big Overwatch and TF2 specifically are big pieces of inspiration for Underground. With Underground, it will be more of a game mode that we are more excited for specifically, as well as a game mode that we are kind of fighting for. And those will be the 2 modes out the door that we're going to start with. We are going to definitely try for some later on as well. Will we change ding noise? Yes. That is a placeholder noise to say the least. Stop game crash. So right now we don't quite understand why the game is crashing on PC the way it is. What would be useful for anybody who is experiencing this would to put in a bug report in the bug section at the Discord server. It is right up in the top under game update section. There's something that says bugs. Put in our bug report. Tell us what you were doing at that time, what headset you were using, just all the information you can give to us, because unfortunately just saying game crash on PC, it doesn't really give us a lot of information that we can go off of. All right. Like combat? Yeah, so Underground is a tad bit like combat, but more like something like an original game mode. Combat was more of a simple shooter. We're trying to put some more specific melee designs for game modes, stuff like that. YouTube says, or UC on YouTube says, when will throwing settings and menu get fixed? So right now, all the throwing settings are pretty basic, and the buttons don't work 100% just because of the way that the menu was built wasn't really optimal. It is one of those things that will definitely get fixed in the future. Is Hex VR going to have VRML or VREL? So for VRML, that is up to them to support us. I have no clue if they will or will not. So in the end, that is up to them. We personally are going to be running tournaments under Golden Gear Esports, which is another group that we have. So when we get to that point where the game is more in a state for playing more esports style games instead of just being a alpha or a tech demo, we will definitely be running stuff on our own. Futures on Hex when A2 comes out. Thank you, Angel. So Hex is going to stay on the course it's currently going, because in our minds, A2 is going to be something different. And we want to make something that we see as original. We want to make sure that we are making the product that we are caring for. And us shutting down our project because of somebody else is doing a project really doesn't make much sense, just because it's zero gravity. We have no clue what A2 is going to do. and we hope to do some original things with our own project as well. In the end, it will just be two different things that exist. YouTube says speed glitch will be fixed, right? So right now you can speed around a lot by slapping on the ground aggressively and getting yourself over 9 meters a second sometimes. That will likely be fixed. It is fun to play around with right now, I will admit. It will be fixed. In-game tournaments, just answered that one. Picture of a cat, yes indeed. Let's see. Make sure you guys are posting, like, if you guys in the Discord, if you guys can just put, like, question in front of the question you're about to ask first, just so it's easier for me to kind of put those out, understand what I'm doing. All right. Have you guys thought about lowering the speed threshold? Yes. So right now the speed threshold is just a tad higher than it will be in the final product of the game. Just because for debug purposes and testing purposes, it is a pain to move slowly across the arena. So we just want to have it be a little faster for us right now. When is the plaque? Eventually. When the lobby or once we get to a point where it is more accessible for players. Fix the Hex VR settings? Don't believe me. We're going to do that. Question, will it be an option for me to make support drivers for my custom VR prototype to run Hex VR? Not quite sure. Right now, we are not looking at any open source style like options. We're definitely going to be looking into, running your own custom servers, but right now it's not an open source project that you can kind of pop anything into. Are we competing with A2 or just ignoring them? We're not competing. We're also not ignoring. Competing with a $25 million company is just not something I feel like putting the stress into. I don't think anybody else on the team does either. Let's see. How much will the game cost? There is no current decision that has been made on the pricing of the game. Obviously, when it gets to a point where we need to be running custom servers, we're going to look into some form of monetization. Right now, that has not been something that we are willing to hammer in and be a 100% idea. So right now, we're not moving towards that direction of putting down a number right now. Will there be multiple arenas? Yes. So we have tested a couple of arenas before, and we are going to continue testing that idea. Right now, we're obviously just working off of one main arena while we are working. We'll have a mini arena, practice arena, or social lobby. Yes, we would love to have a social lobby, and that is something that will likely be introduced in the beta. Statement work on underground before arena because arena's bad. We're going to work on them likely concurrently. A lot of the things that we're going to start doing are just going to be mechanical for movement, throwing, just nailing in the feel of the game before we start branching out more. Once we start to branch out more, it should be fairly easy to implement both underground and arena at the same time. Will the graphics be reworked to make them sharper? A little bit, yes. Right now, graphics are in a constant state of fluctuation. So it is always being moved around just to make sure it is optimized for both Quest and PC VR. We've hit a point right now where it is fairly optimized, and we would like to do a little bit more optimization while we are doing so. So once that happens, we will be there. Ooh, chat's going crazy on YouTube right now. I'm going to check back over there real quick. Hex body pillow when? Tomorrow. Just kidding. Could you make it harder to throw the disc at high speeds? Yes. So the entire throwing system is going to be reworked in the next couple updates. When that does happen, it will be something that feels a lot more balanced and a lot more akin to what we come to expect from games like this. Are we adding a lobby in YouTube? Yes, we are. And how do you update the side-loaded games on Quest? So when you do install the game on your headset, you will need to update it by uninstalling it and reinstalling the newer version. We do have a pretty decent how-to in the Discord server, so you want to hop over there, you can check it out. When is Hex coming to App Lab? Don't have a date for that. I think once we can hammer in that exact idea of when we want a specific date for it, we will definitely be telling you guys. Right now, I can say that it will be during the beta, and we think the beta will be landing around maybe late December or early January. That is the current idea. That is obviously very capable of fluctuating. When it does happen, we will let you know. Gonna pop back over to Discord real quick. Are you gonna make custom social lobbies like Echo did in the beginning? I mean, that would be fun. We don't really have a knowledge about that right now. But when it does, like, when we again are more in a state where we are less focused on mechanics and more focused on just game upkeep, that will be something we can look into. All right. Looking back at the scroll. One moment, please. Aha! Hello, Blue.
Yo, sorry I'm late.
You're good, man. Everyone say hi, Blue.
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, work was murder.
Why are you murdering people at work?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Fair enough. All right. Couple more questions in the chat. When it comes out on App Lab, will it still be available for CV1 PC VR? Yes, we actually do currently have a privated but purchased Steam page, and we will be releasing on Steam when that time comes. Do you think loading players directly in the social lobby could be cool? That is definitely an interesting idea. We'd have to look into the mechanical side of it, of like how one difficult that would be for the game, into like if that would just be an extra layer that we don't need across. Question: will it be optimized for Quest 2? It is optimized for Quest 2, and we'll continue to optimize it for Quest 2.
Yeah, Cade, where are we getting questions from right now?
Both YouTube
Is it,
and Discord. I'm actually about to pop the slow mode up on Discord. Actually, it's already at 15 seconds. It's just moving quickly. Remember, guys, make sure you put question in front of your question. Euphoria, I can see you in the chat. I don't know if you're still talking. You know what? I'm gonna make you do some work underscore, and maybe Angel. If you guys could look at questions and put a little like thumbs up underneath of the question for us, just to make sure we don't lose it. And then once we do it, like we'll just double react with it.
Yeah, Cade, can you what timestamp are you at for the questions in the Discord, just so I know I'm not repeating anything?
Around.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I'm within the last like 2 minutes or so.
Okay.
Are other players going to get full models so you can grab onto them and regrab? Yes. So right now we are working on a player model, something that Silent is actually working on right now. And it is looking very good. We're not going to release what it looks like until it is closer to finish, though. Just so you know. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Will there be more skins? Don't have that right now.
Yeah, we're not committing to any kind of cosmetic system right now. We are focusing on trying to get a functional game out the door first.
That's about right. Somebody said, how constant are updates going to be? They are not going to be constant. They will be whenever we get them out.
Yeah. Guys, a big thing, just a point of clarification that I know that a very vocal minority of individuals don't quite understand. We're a team of volunteers. No one's getting paid for this project currently. You know, we've all got lives outside of this, so we get to it when we can. I can pretty much, I don't want to say guarantee. Guarantee is a very strong word. I would like to have more frequent updates release after 1.0, essentially.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
1.0 being released, which currently has no date, and that is different from beta.
Correct.
Can I turn the volume up of Blue? Why is Cade so quiet? Blue, talk real quick for me.
Yo, what's up?
I mean, these volumes look pretty decent on Streamlabs, so.
Cade sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
I think that might be a problem on your end.
Unfortunate. All right.
William, I'm gonna be honest. I am not sure how to interpret your question here, man. Asking about the bit rate of the game. I'm not sure. I'm gonna be honest. It's made in Unity. We haven't touched anything that I'm imagining would affect the bit rate of the game. I'm not
Not
I'm not
sure.
even I'm not even sure what that's in reference to. At least in terms of rendering, because you're talking about a CRT VR headset and motion blur. If there's a more specific version of that question you could clarify, I'd appreciate it because that sounds interesting.
All right. 2 questions. Rib, will silent sleep schedule ever recover? No. Um, how bulky are the player models going to be? Larger, smaller than Echo units? Because I thought those are actually perfect size. So we are modeling off of the same, like, not the exact dimensions of the Echo unit, but the same scale of the Echo unit that we are used to. So they will likely be around the same size.
Well, I don't think they're asking about like height, for example. I think they're referring to more so proportions.
Yeah.
Um, the character models are still in development, so I won't guarantee anything. I know we're shooting for something similar, so that's what I'll state with that. Silent, you might be better prepared to answer that kind of question.
What was the question again?
Relative to what we're used to with like the default chassis from Echo, how would you say the proportions are with the current work in progress model? Are they is it chonkier? Is it about the same?
We don't really have like a base chassis. So that was like something I was talking to you about. Uh,
Mhm.
I probably will change. I think right now I'm just working on the base like look of it, and eventually I'll like tune it to where it like has proper proportions. Because right now I'm just like using some random thing that you gave me for
Yeah.
proportions. But I will definitely have to look at it to make sure it like fits with like because your arms because Echo was just like kind of perfect with like
Okay.
their arm lengths and everything, and it just felt good. So I do want to make sure I keep it that way
Yeah.
as best as I can at least. But it is a little bit chunky, I will say. I think.
Couple
Fair
questions in
enough.
the chat right now. Will it be a lot of storage? Currently there is no specific number that we know of for the future releases. I believe right now it's around what 200 megabytes.
Yeah, it's not very
It's
large.
not very.
We're
It's not very
shooting we're
large.
shooting for we're shooting for reasonable.
Yeah, we don't want to like kill your game or kill your headset.
Yeah, we're not exactly um stuffing the game with, you know, ultra high quality photogrammetry scans and 16K textures. It's basically any game that's made with reasonable storage optimization techniques won't be that big.
somebody asked.
Um,
Somebody asked in the YouTube, "Are you going to set up a donation or GoFundMe if you do want money?" And not anytime soon. The only time any of us will be comfortable with taking your money is if we have a product to actually like show for process, not a product to show for progress.
yeah,
A minimal viable product that we are happy with releasing right now that is not even close to anywhere where we are, and I will refuse to take anybody's money before then,
except mine.
except Blues. I take half a Blues paycheck every week. It's great.
Real. Um, let's see. Will smooth turning be a feature? Yeah, absolutely. It will be. Um, so I'm sure that Cade has probably mentioned this 2 or 3 times before I got here. We're currently in the process of revamping a lot of the foundational systems in Hex that were created very early on with not the best practices. Um, Hoping to clear up some of the um, major bugs and inconsistencies that were preventing us from doing uh, quality smooth turning. Um, so that's hopefully coming very soon. Air quotes soon. TM.
Soon, TM. Let's see. Can you have your 4-year social security number? It's 7. Let's see. What else do we got? Cat, we're not using the W word. You know which one?
Oh, Silent actually has a question.
Oh.
Are we gonna have adjustable dead zones in game? It depends on what you're referring to. Silent. Are you referring to
Like,
turning dead zone or grip dead zone? Grip and release dead zones.
sorry, yeah. I was like reminded. Sorry, I forgot what they're called. Joysticks. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay,
Aha.
the joystick dead zones.
Um,
Because I know a lot of people had like drift and whatnot, and they're including myself. And like I feel
yeah.
like Echo didn't really have a way to like stop that.
Mhm.
Really. They had the grip dead zones and everything, but they didn't have like, you know,
Yeah.
drift stick.
So,
Yeah.
to that, I'll say that we do have a solution in mind. It won't be adjustable dead zones, mostly just because every kind of VR like software wrapper, between Steam VR and the Oculus system, they have methods in place for adjusting the dead zones. We intend on using, excuse me, we intend on using the a very similar solution to what Echo had for stick drift, which you might not know was there. Similar to how you can
I
enable and disable pitch and roll in your settings, you can actually also disable yaw. So you could actually disable all 3 rotational axes with your thumbsticks in
I thought you were
Echo.
talking about how Echo there was no like turning like speeds. Like there was one speed that you turned at always, and it was consistent. So like
Well, I mean,
there
you
was
can
no like
put that
slow
speed in Echo.
turning. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
it wasn't with the
Oh,
joysticks thing. So with the dead zone, um,
you're
you can adjust
okay.
that dead zone to like
Okay.
whatever you need. So if you
So
put it
so
all the way to the left or right, it'll start turning.
yeah. So you're not looking for a dead zone then. You're looking for a an analog style input for rotation, where if you push the stick a little bit, you'll rotate
With the dead
slowly
zone. With the
with a
dead
dead zone.
zone.
Well, the dead zone would just be controlled by your software.
You could probably do it in game as well.
No, we could do it in game. It's redundant though. If there's for whatever reason some demand for it, I don't see why we couldn't. Um,
I don't
as
think quests have dead zone control, do they?
They
Yeah,
did
it does.
recently got it.
Oh,
No, it
recently?
wasn't
Okay, good.
recently. It was like a
It's like
year ago, kid.
Was it? Oh god,
Yeah, it was ages ago.
I'm behind.
Weird. Well, I never knew
Couple more
about it.
questions. Will Doug the fish be in the game? No. If not, you're gonna make another thirst trap of me, Cat. We can talk. Will there be separate ranked mode for both Stadium and Underground alongside a casual normal mode? Right now, we are just worried about getting the physical modes into the game. In the future, we will be looking at like ranking modes in the game, but until then, we are not too worried about MMR stuff that are beyond more than just one system. Let's see, what type of things can we expect out of API endpoints, assuming they will exist at all? That is something we would like to implement at some point. Right now, it is a big up in the air again because the main thing that we are focusing on is just pure development of the game. If we are to have anything like that, it would be useful to have something like, let's per se, to access through the API, you can also get things like player MMR, similar to things that Spark was doing. But again, like I said, that is not something that we are actively putting our thought process into. That would be something we would look at in the future.
Okay, so this question I think came back up. Will there be any cosmetics for alpha or beta supporters? Okay, so there's 2 elements to this answer. The first one being, again, we are not committing to any kind of cosmetics. We're not going to promise any kind of cosmetics to anyone. We're focusing on making a video game first. The second part being, as far as alpha and beta supporter like perks go, I don't think we're planning on doing anything.
Besides
It's an
the
open alpha.
besides some of the booster things that we've done in the past, that is currently the farthest out we're gonna go. In the
Well, that's not
future,
alpha and beta supporter stuff. That's
exactly.
booster support.
Like in the future, that might be something we look back into. Right now, that is not something we are nailing in like a yes or no for. Closer to a no than it will be a yes, though. I will say that.
I also just want to like make this a stronger point is I didn't like realize this until I like looked into it, but character models for games can take up to like 100 hours to model, texture, and rig. So
Yeah.
that's also another reason why like having more cosmetics is like not really planned, is it takes a long time, like longer than you would think.
And like we said
Yeah.
before, we're all volunteer. We have jobs. We need to make money. Couple of YouTube questions. Fix the outside the map glitch. Ongoing fix that we're currently working on. Do you guys know
Depends
about
on
the
which
glitch
one
where
we're
you
talking
sometimes, if you
about.
grab the discs, it speeds up to the other side of the map? Yes. So that is a big issue with some of the throwing systems that we currently have in place. Blue can talk about those for hours. Those specific issues that used rubber bandiness. So that's one of the things that will be fixed. Is there going to be a stunning system or a punch? We are looking into a couple different alternatives for in-game mechanics. We don't want to be 100% like exactly copy Echo, only do that. No, we want to kind of grow what we are working on. So that is one of the alternatives we were looking at, is to have a stunning system. In the future, that might change. Plans to bring back pitch and roll? Yes. Let's see. I am now a little bit behind. Question: will be higher graphics for PC VR or the same, or for both? Right now, they are the same. In the future, that might change. It
Yeah.
won't. We're gonna make sure it's not like an aggressive difference, but there could be a difference just for optimization purposes.
Yeah, the graphical difference between standalone and PC VR almost certainly won't be as drastic as it was for Echo. We are not necessarily going for AAA graphics here. um, Although our art team has been doing a phenomenal job, so
The applause.
we might be pushing it further than I initially anticipated. So that's awesome. I for the most part it'll be pretty similar. Yeah, that's what I'll say on the difference between PC and Quest.
Is there any design sketches we will be able to see? Yeah. So when we do have any form of like concept art, or when we have like in production models or stuff like that, we do tend to put it out. There's a couple things that we are holding back right now just because we want to finalize the designs on them before we do put them out. So when those do go out, you'll be able to see them, as well as we typically do in sneak peeks, put out screenshots from in-game engine work, arena model design, stuff like that, whenever we have any form of updates on them. Right now, that channel has been a little slower just because a lot of the visual differences in the game have not been like happening as much. It has been a lot more mechanical upgrades than visual, and unfortunately, it's kind of hard to send a screenshot of a new throwing system. So let's see. When you are farther along development, would you consider adding toys and interactables into the social lobby? I want to add a duck
With goggles.
with goggles, a little steampunk goggledy duck. I don't know what we're
Yeah,
gonna call him.
no, we had a name for
Oh,
him,
did we? We
Cade.
did. Hang on.
Yeah, we had a name for him. No, but generally speaking, we do want to do lobby toys of some description. We aren't committed to any specifics just yet because committing to lobby toys commits to a lobby. But it's a want. We want to do that. Oh,
Well, I'll have to look back in our messages and see what we named him
yeah.
at some point. Make it so there's more to do when you force yourself outside the map, please. How about we make it harder to force yourself outside the map?
Real.
I feel like that's probably the better mechanical thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Are
a
there gonna be
reason
more-
why up until a couple years ago, even Rad was patching them out.
Mm-hmm. Are there going to be more geos or different places where you can get better bounced goals? Yes, so we're likely going to rework a lot of the design of the arena just to make sure that it's closer to function. As well as geo's placement design, a lot of that's going to change too. A lot of what's in the game right now has been test articles just to like get testing done to verify what we're doing.
Um, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of repeat questions to things we answered like a minute or two ago.
Indeed. Will there be any effects when you score or sound when you score? There's definitely effects already. And there is a sound right now as well. We're likely going to change those sounds, those effects up. Again, a lot of the things in the game right now are test. But until then. Private lobbies? Yes. You heard it here 20 times later, folks.
And just to just to clarify what Silent said a couple minutes ago about progress on the model, just remember, guys, that's the modeling is 60-ish% done. There's a lot more that goes into it than just the modeling.
Yeah. I think I tried to specify that.
You did,
What I
but
said.
I know that
Okay.
some people
Make sure,
don't
yeah,
like
yeah.
to read the whole message. Oh, very, very good artistic rendition of the model Silent. Thank you for posting that.
Thanks.
100%. It's so accurate.
I'm sorry, guys. I had to leak it. I'm sorry. It's too good.
Beautiful concept art. And there is an actual piece of concept art for the model that was made by Mars, who is still in here. Yep, who is still in the stream.
It looks very nice.
I feel like a complete a-hole. I didn't even realize it. Hi, Mars.
Yeah, bring Mars up here.
Hi, sorry.
Hello.
Welcome. Yeah, Mars made a phenomenal piece of not fan art, a phenomenal piece of art.
Fan art.
Concept art. Which we are currently using the design for, so.
Oh, it started off as fan art, and then I actually joined the team.
Welcome. Yes, Silent Mars to the two newest people on the team. Give them your golf claps. You guys get 5 seconds of golf claps.
Can I clap for myself?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, go for it. I have noise cancellation on, so you can't hear me, but I'm clapping.
Phenomenal.
X-Bird. Thank you, Kat. Very cool.
It's not a bird. It's not a bird. It's not a bird.
It's not a bird. It's
not a
not.
bird.
I swear, it's not a bird.
It's not bird.
It's a disc and it's moving really fast. I promise it's not a bird.
Just saying, my girlfriend's the one that made that design. You can yell at her, not me.
It's a good design for the record.
Does kind of look like ice cream, William. You're not wrong there. Hexpert should be the top rank if added ranks. That would actually be kind of good.
That's hilarious.
Hexpert. It's like a really bad name, bad nickname for a guy named Albert.
Puns.
The bottom rank will be the W word.
No, we're not even putting that one in the game.
People will intentionally try to stay the lowest they can.
You will be removed from this stage if you say the W word. We are not giving them that platform.
Ramona, you're on thin ice here.
Ramona, it's a little close there. Oh. Listen, Mia. Is the disc collision going to be fixed at the geos at all? Yes, very much. Like I said before, a lot of the mechanics of the game will be reworked.
What I'll say with that is it depends on what you're referring to specifically. There are a few geos in specific that have fucked up collision right now in the current build. But then on the other hand, the collider for the disc isn't what some people expect. So most people expect a disc-shaped collider, when we've found for physics reasons a sphere works better. So if you're referring to the fact that it's a sphere, no, it's staying that way. If you're referring to the fact that Pac-Man acts as though it's a rectangle, that will be fixed.
Indeed. Will the arena map be updated or completely remodeled? I do know somebody in the chat actually did ask that too. Golden Quest, who I assume is Peter's, the way you're saying that was your arena. So the current arena in the game will definitely be used as inspiration. It will likely be retopolized or retopped. How do you say that one, Blue?
Retopologized.
Retopologized.
Thank
Let the 3D
you,
modeler
Silent.
fix it for me. Yeah, we will be retopologized, as well as we will likely change the model around a little bit just to make it more optimized for the game. What a word! I am agreeing with you, Rip. That is an aggressive word, though it is not. It is not my favorite 3D modeling terminology. My favorite 3D modeling terminology is decimate, because it does fun things.
It does do fun things.
It does do fun.
It
things.
does.
Like turn a
You know, it'd be a
human
funny
being's
teaser.
torso
We
into
take the
a,
model, the character model, and then we just absolutely decimate it and then send that, and that's the
We
teaser.
already did that.
Did we send it as a teaser? No, we didn't send it as a teaser.
I did it in the booster
I'll
chat,
do it.
because if you
It was
boost
in
the
the
server, you get
booster
some
chat.
more
You
goofy,
did?
some more goofy style teasers.
Pizza
When?
slice.
I'll check.
Pizza slice, yeah. Question will be:
So-
will there be a
Oh,
launcher?
pizza slice.
Pizza slice. Question: will there be a launcher to get out of tunnels and or boosters? So we do currently have a. We're definitely working on something like that. It may not be exactly the same as the launcher. We've thrown around a couple ideas. One of my favorite ones was a speed funnel, which is pretty much an area, a specific like area that you can go where your acceleration on your hand thruster does more than the base game speed, instead of doing like a physical grabbing booster, which I think could be entertaining.
I feel like that gets rid of some consistencies though. Unless you make it really consistent.
Which is why it's something we'll look into in the future.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now mechanics
Consistency
are
is key.
a lot of the consistency in the game design itself is good. Anything on personal disc?
And for competitiveness.
And for competitive, yes. Sounds like the word for throwing someone out a window. I like the sound of that word. That's a good idea.
And William, I saw your clarification. I'm not sure where we'd find that information for you. If you reach out in DMs and tell me where we would find that info, I would happily provide it to you.
I guess that brings another question. Will there be like anti-cheat?
Yeah. So in the future,
We
we're
want
definitely
to,
gonna
yeah.
be we're definitely gonna look into some form of anti-cheat, as well as some more in-game moderation. We are so far from that point right now where it's just not been something that we have actively the aggressive like thought into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Kat, you are the biggest hacker in our game right now, and you will be dealt with.
Yeah. We need to work hard to stop people like Kat.
We need to work hard to stop Kat. You did have your
Yeah.
it's gone now. It got killed. Sorry, Kat.
I just remembered I played with you like some of like either the last or the second to last day of Eka.
I'm assuming
did.
Kat was speed hacking.
Oh, I think he was, yeah. In the
I believe
lobbies,
it.
in the social lobbies. Damn, I forgot. That's why I remembered his name.
No, I don't do that.
You are lying. Anyways, more questions. Can be Hex related. Doesn't have to be. You got any sort of questions in general, as long as they make sense. They don't make sense, and I don't know how I can answer it. YouTube as well. I know YouTube has a bit more of a time delay, but if you're in there, pop a question or two in. What is the rectangular square of a rainbow? 2.
I thought we just said it had to make sense.
No, that one makes sense.
Oh,
When do you guys
okay.
begin development of the Echo Arena space station? So I have been working closely with a company called ULA, which is United Launch Alliance. They've launched many of the Mars rovers to actual Mars. So we are currently in process with talks with them to develop the first Hex space station, which will be running our first Hex 0G tournament up there.
Okay, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but the way you said that was almost convincing.
That's on
Yeah.
purpose.
It's on purpose. That's because I'm serious. It's actually happening.
It's actually happening. How long has Hex been in development so far? A little over 6 months. You can watch some of the update stuff on the YouTube channel. There is a playlist that is just development of Hex related, which includes the 1 week of Hex video, the 1 month of Hex video, the 2 months of Hex video, and the 6 months of Hex video. All of them getting lower in duration every single video.
Yeah, those the update videos are more or less just Cade's shit posts
Yeah.
to the community.
Listen, they are informational. Sometimes.
Yeah. If you want actual like information about the progress of the game, I would check out Sneak Peeks, the Discord channel, or become a booster and get
even weirder sneak
e-
peeks. Hex
Sneak
pizza.
Peeks. Hex Pizza, yeah.
Hex pizza.
That's where we post dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. That's 2 strikes, but when do you expect to be in alpha? Right now. We're technically in alpha 1. Technically. Oh yeah, Rib, the shut up Cade in the half a year of Echo VR. I won't even lie. That was 100% me stealing a joke from Michael Reeves. The entire beginning of the video was just me doing that.
I thought it was familiar.
Yeah, that was just me stealing a joke from Michael Reeves. What day are you guys gonna fix the speed in the game? When we no longer desire to have a quicker speed in the game. Right now, that speed is primarily for debug purposes. Just because we don't want to float around an arena at extremely slow paces while doing in-game testing. So, yeah.
Cat, did you boost like just now?
I think Cat just boosted.
Okay, thank you, Cat,
Thanks,
for the
Cat.
boost.
Let's see.
Remember when you guys had 100 boosts? Yeah.
That was...
Honestly, boosts. So okay, so here's what we'll say on boosts. Me and Kate have had a pretty decent discussion on this. Overall, boosts don't really do anything for us. It's not like we benefit from boosts in any way past like what, Kate? 20?
Yeah.
Reaching 100 was purely a community experiment.
So I will flat out say it now. I put the whole first 100 boosters get a in-game plaque. We're obviously still going to be releasing that plaque. The only reason I said that was because I wanted to see if that was an actual possibility that people would do. It was. People have done it. Now we're going to put a plaque in the game, but it was solely because I went, huh, will people do this? And they will. Just, a little questionnaire. Have we thought about an App Lab release yet? Yes, of course. App Lab Beta. App Lab Beta. Those 2 words are synonymous with each other. We are looking at a early 2024 beta. That date can change. That date can change. It can change. I'm putting that out now. That date can change.
What did you just say specifically for the date, Cade?
Beginning 2024, maybe.
Okay. So what you've just described is like
Q1 2020.
a half of a year.
Yeah.
And you're like, it could
2024.
change. I mean, yeah,
Which
I
is
guess.
the first 3 months of 2024. That date can change. Okay? Okay. Now with that said, we're obviously going to be trying to do it as fast as possible. That date can change. Okay.
As fast as you can. As we
can.
can, you mean?
Yes. No. Everybody start working now.
You have a mob of 3,000 people willing to do stuff you say.
That's not really
Rib,
true. Half
that's
that
not
server's
true
inactive,
at all.
which is
Probably
okay.
close to 90% of them would do the opposite out of spite.
Have you met the Echo community?
Yeah.
Great people. Rib says, y'all gotta understand how difficult it is to make a game. Like most games are in development for years. Yes, and we also have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Pico 4 version would be interesting.
I'd want to do it.
I'd want to do that. That's in the future. That's like that's more something if we can test and it works, and obviously it works when we switch to OpenXR. None of us really have a Pico. Not that I'm aware of.
I'm surprised you don't have a Pico, Cade.
I have one at work, but I can't really install anything onto it.
Yeah. But you have like what? 4 or 5 headsets, like personally?
8.
8.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
No, trust me, I'm not angry at you for getting it wrong. I'm angry at me for having that number.
Yeah, fair.
When will Hex
And
release
still
to
no
Steam?
Pico.
When will Hex release to Steam? Beta.
Whenever beta is.
Which, as I've said earlier, early 2024. That date can change.
Hopefully.
What's the red box?
What's the
above
red
arena?
box?
Blue, you can take that one.
Nah, it's yours. It's yours to say.
You sure?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. That is the flesh box. That is the original test arena that was made for this game. It was gone within maybe a week and a half. It was flesh box.
Yeah.
Beautiful little creature right there.
All hail flesh box.
All hail flesh box. Question: since I was a really early tester, what do we get since we played the game before it got put on sideload? Nothing. You
got
my
the
support is
experience
my
of playing
happiness. Yeah, you were here and you can say that to people. Well, I do still believe technically the hang on. The tester role still does exist. You still have it. There's still a list of members, so if we do want to do something with that in the future, we may. Doesn't mean we will, just means we could. But you still technically have that role, and as well as
It's not
568 other people. Not planned, no. Yeah, you get a pat on the back. I like that.
Yeah.
Question: why are the names of the arena? Because it's just we don't really need the actual in-game credits. We just have them. So if you glitch out of the arena, then you get to see them. That's likely going to be changed at some point. Do you like Fishing Planet? What? Question: how do I get an awesome in-game cosmetic so I can flex I actually contributed to the game? It's called credits, Coastal. Updated credits.
Yeah, you get credits.
Right now, the credits.
No one will look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's old
if
credits.
you want them to, you can put them in. You can tell them to. Question: will there be player levels? Oh, like
We're
in-game
hoping.
leveling? We're hoping for that. Yeah. Women live me, fish fear me.
Minor spelling mistake.
No, I love that. I'm putting that in a group chat of mine.
Put it in the quote book. What are your thoughts on other Echo VR remakes? So there's a 2-stage answer for that again. So personally, amongst the development team, we're trying to move away from the term Echo VR remake for us, because we're not really remaking what was previously there. We're trying to create something new that's inspired by what was there. So we would prefer the term spiritual successor or something along those lines. As for the other guys, A2 is looking cool. I'm hoping that's good.
Yeah. I see Rebounders is doing some interesting things.
Yeah, we're not gonna comment on that too much.
I mean, yeah, it's just the thing is, we want to be different. We want to be our own game, and acting like we are fighting anybody would just be a useless piece of information. Somebody says, would you be able to create a game inside Roblox? I mean, probably. I don't want to.
Not the goal.
Like whatsoever. I don't like Roblox. Sorry. I know Trentic, you're in here. At least he was in here. That's That's his whole video style right now is Roblox. Sorry, man.
I was about to say, I think I saw Trent streaming Roblox the other
Yeah.
day.
Have you not added fishing yet? Listen, that's a big task, and we want to make sure that we are extraordinarily polished for when fishing comes out. Trentic gifted you Nitro? That's nice of Trentic. Coastal, you may or may not be able to make Hex and Roblox. I don't really want you to. Because it's Roblox. We don't want that.
Roblox is your Hex.
Sloth, that is phenomenal news. That is very good news. That was interesting to hear last night. Good to hear.
Also, I see you've put Hex in your name, Sloth.
We do ask that only Hex staffers have the Hex. We apologize for the inconvenience. If you could yoink that one right out.
Please do not. The mods will have
All right.
to remove them.
If everybody does it, then I remove nickname perms from everybody.
And no one wants that.
Nobody wants that.
So please don't.
It will be just me and Blue who give people nicknames, and Euphoria. You don't want Euphoria giving you nicknames.
I
like
was
that
about
best,
to
though.
say we shouldn't let Euphoria give nicknames, and then you threatened them with it, and I realized that's right. Yeah.
Question: will Meta shut down Hex VR on App Lab? I do not have any precognition or reasoning to believe they will. I have been working with a buddy who knows a lot about hexes. No, about a lot about Meta's legal side, who has been like lightly advising me what we can and cannot do, and I believe we are more than definitely in the clear for legality issues.
Imagine a lobby full of people that is hard doesn't Steam on mine says Nintendo Wii. I mean, we'd have to support that. But
The Nintendo Wii, I think we can support that.
yeah. If nothing else, you might if we do have like a system badge, which I think would be cool. I know that a couple games feature that, and it's usually really interesting. It would just probably say like generic system or some shit.
Dill Max says, when do you guys plan to have Underground out by? I do not know if that one would be specific to begin testing by beta 1. That might be more of a beta 2 scenario.
It's in the roadmap.
It's
I
in
know
the
that.
roadmap. The roadmap is going to change soon, actually. Just a couple things are going to be moved around so we can get, so we know what is where. Brian is fishing. Awesome.
Can you guys make a setting to lower other characters' texture resolution on PC? It's a big problem for lower end systems. So yeah, a very underrated feature that I feel like no one has particularly mentioned ever to me, is graphical settings presets. They're currently in the game, and they go down to potato. The goal of potato is to be as stripped down as it can physically be.
Unfortunately, it does not bake as well as a potato, so don't try to eat them.
It really is potato. Yeah, no, it is actually called potato. I think actually you can lower the resolution. We can lower, I believe, the render resolution scale, but I don't think we can change the actual resolution. That's a hardware limitation with Unity.
In Quest you can't do that. In Steam you can. So when you are running it through Steam VR, which will be the primary like PC VR system that we're going to be using, you will be able to just you can do that through direct Steam, and that will help. Would you be adding a stat so it says what platform you're playing on? How would that work for my headset? If we add that stat, I'm going to say it's probably not going to work for your headset because your headset is one of a kind, William.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I commented on that previously with your Nintendo Wii joke. Was that you that said that? I think it was. Yeah. So the way if we were to implement something like that, for anything that it can't figure out, there would probably just be a default output.
Yeah.
Um,
Just
just
open XR
generic
output.
HMD.
Mm-hmm. Somebody asks, how do you plan becoming better than other Echo VR remakes, even though you're a spiritual successor? The answer is we are not competing with them. We are just making the game we want to make. Players can play whatever game they decide they want to play. We do not have a war or a desire to fight any other game that's on the market, because what would be the point of that if we were just trying to make our own game? So the answer to
Well,
that is we're going to make what we want to make, and players can enjoy it if they like it.
yeah. Will there be an iPad to change settings or invite friends? So we have the book. We have the settings book. Take a look at it. It's already in the game. Left menu button. Open that bad boy up. That's where you can change settings. As for inviting friends, we aren't committing to any kind of friend system currently. We'd like to have something like it though.
Indeed. Kate is cool? No, he's not. He's a big a-hole. Where is Robert? He's in there. Just have to look for him.
Would I be able to host championships and stream it on my analog station?
It's such
I'm gonna assume
What?
analog station is the name of your headset. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I think that's a question to ask yourself at this point. Can it? Can you host championships on it and stream?
I mean, if it's a TV signal. If you want to convert a DisplayPort signal to a TV analog signal, then you can stream it. That's your problem.
That is not an us question.
That is not for us. That's your. Will it be compatible with the Apple VR headset? Guys, are you ready? This
Probably
is the big
not.
reveal. No, Blue. This is the big reveal. No.
Oh, I mean, I don't even think that thing has controllers,
Hand tracking.
and the game is not going to support hand tracking.
Nope, because that's useless.
Although Cade is currently holding me at knife point to add face and eye tracking.
I need use out of my Quest Pro.
That is a $1,500 paperweight.
Hey, it was
Yeah, low
1,500
blow.
for me.
Yeah.
Other than VRML, are you guys going to try connecting with other esport leagues? We have talked with a couple of pre-existing esport leagues. At this moment, there is no like specific contract or specific like agreement that we have for hosting on them. Obviously, they are welcome to host a not an Echo, a Hex League if they do please. That is up to them.
Yeah. Generally speaking, it's not really up to us. Third-party leagues can kind of do whatever they want. It's not our business.
The main league that we're going to be hosting out of at this very moment will be, through Golden Gear Esports, which is our own league, which you can check out right here, like that. Yeah. Right now, there's no current tournaments being hosted in Golden Gear Esports. In the future, obviously, we will be. When that does happen, you'll get announcements for that. No,
Yeah.
Brian, I'm not answering your fishing question.
Yeah. Though, Cade, we probably should remove Echo from that list.
That is up next on one of the things I need to do.
Don't let the flame die out.
I mean, $3 says Cat is about to say something. Never mind, Cat's no longer in this call. Okay.
Yeah.
I just lost $3. Maybe bit variations will be in the fishing mode too. It's called Stadium and Underground. Those are bits.
Fishing confirmed. Minor spelling mistake. Also, I love the blue swear counter that's going. It's a part of my lexicon. It cannot be stopped.
I'm holding myself back. More questions. If not, we end. Or at least the YouTube live stream. Okay, no questions about stupid fishing. How many times have you treated him in a day? What? What? How many times have you treated him a day? What? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
Ignore
know.
it for now.
Yeah, that's a good one. Huh? Yeah, that's I'm saying huh. Threatened a day.
Threatened.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Data Elbrian, I swear. I swear. You will be severely punished. Sounds aggressive.
Oh my god.
Sounds aggressive.
O'Brien's name. He changed it to Fishing Planet O'Brien.
Is that what that stands for?
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Ramona, that's
That's
a joke.
silly.
What are the chances you guys adding more customization colors, like the colors
Oh
of the
my
arena?
god.
We definitely want to see if player customization, like the not full player customization, specific colors on the player may be possible. There's no
We
confirmation.
did
on that.
talk about that
Yeah,
yesterday.
We did talk about that. It is not.
We
like,
were me and Blue were
confirmed.
talking about that. There are some like weird ways
Preliminary
to do it.
discussions.
We're probably going to have it, maybe.
I mean, we're not.
We
I don't
want
want to say
to.
anything. I'm not a developer, but like, I definitely want to try for it myself at least. So hopefully we can figure something out like that. But yeah, I can't promise.
Sloth says you think the arena should be pink and green. I think it should be pink and blue, purple and blue specifically.
I think it's magenta and blue.
It is magenta and blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cade's colorblind. Don't worry about it.
A little bit.
Depending on the arena you're in, will you be in different servers?
Just area. Just area. Like location wise, if Photon does support like location based servers, I don't remember.
Yeah, it does.
Then yeah.
Yeah, it has NA, SA,
EU.
EU, Asia.
OC, yeah.
I don't think it has Oceanic.
No, that's unfortunate. Sorry, Oceanic players.
All
X.
4 of you.
All... See, there's 5. If servers become an issue due to bandwidth, how do you combat that? We had this conversation the other day, Blue and I. It's called get more servers.
Basically.
For the time period. Yeah.
So the great thing about using a server host platform is it's highly expandable, including temporarily. You know, we can put a little bit more funding into servers 1 month that we're seeing exceptionally high demand, and the next month, if the demand's lower, we don't have to put as much in, and things remain stable.
Magic of server maintenance. Can you put a secret IDTG on the map? I don't know what that is.
Wait, what?
No.
Where are you reading that?
No, somewhere up. William, we've talked about your server racks before. Definitely do appreciate it. Right now, we are definitely running off Flipton. So.
I don't touch grass. Or I do touch grass.
Oh. I mean, if you float all the way out to the mountains, you can touch the mountains. They have grass on them. By grass, I mean green texture, but...
Yeah, it's just lime green texture.
We love our little green texture. Question, war crimes? Yes. I mean, it depends on what war crime you want to commit.
We don't condone war crimes unless they're funny.
Exactly. Oh, right. I did not know that existed, but I love it. That's awesome. Can you have something special? You get a high five. There you go.
Woohoo.
Coastal, you can't violate the Geneva Convention in general. It's not allowed. Sorry, that's the point of the Geneva Convention.
Just because some town in Switzerland says so?
Yeah.
They're very persuasive.
Iki, that sounds like an LTM. That we would have to look into far in the future. That would not be a like specific game mode. You guys should sell merch that's just hex discs. Maybe one
We
day.
have to finalize the design of the disc first.
That's true. Little plushie. Questions the Geneva Convention.
I'd pay for a
Yes.
disc plushie or a 3D printed disc. I'd love that.
All right, so you know what? I'm going to end the YouTube live stream. I'm going to keep the stage open right now, but the YouTube live stream
Yeah.
is going to be ended. So thank you for tuning in on YouTube if you did.